We've heard of this thing called quiet quitting, where you just kind of slow down at your job and
you just
ease yourself
into
out.
being lazy.
Yeah, you're just doing the minimum.
Exactly,
And, well, there is something
not like we do here.
Pretty much. We phoned it in.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, it's now come to quiet firing, where companies saying, "Oh, you're going to quiet quit? Well, here's what we're going to do.
What have you heard?
We're going to give you nothing yet.
Okay,
nothing yet. We'll have that meeting later." You hear, well, you don't get much feedback or praise. You get raises of less than inflationary costs. You know, you are
or no raises.
Yeah, you're invited.
Yeah.
You're not invited to the cool projects anymore. So you're quietly being fired. They're shuffling you out the door. Mm-hmm. Dr. Jayne Gardner joins us, a business strategist who knows how to scale the mindset for great leaders. Dr. Gardner, how are you?
Good morning, Ernie and Hal. Good to be here.
Well, you too. Glad to have you.
I like the enthusiasm and the energy there.
I'm ready.
All right, so it seems like we have a weird dynamic going on in the office right now. We have employees on the one hand phoning it in, and business owners on the other hand who are trying to shove those phoners out the door. It doesn't seem like anybody's really putting effort into this anymore.
The most important point that sometimes is ignored is it's not about the quiet in quitting, or it's not about the quitting, it's the quiet, isn't it? That's the problem in both the firing and the quiet quitting. We've got to bring it out in the open so that everybody knows what the rules are and what the metrics are for hard work. I hope it's hard work is rewarded.
So you want to bring it back to the old days where you get escorted out, thrown to the sidewalk, and your box of stuff thrown on the ground too? Because at least we knew where we stood.
Wait a minute, we're talking about employment, not marriage.
Oh,
yes.
I don't know what I was thinking there.
I think we overall, you guys, we have to be kind, not critical. And shaming someone in a firing is never good.
Yeah.
The employees need to know that there's a transparent culture where hard work is rewarded and where no work is unacceptable.
It's about quiet quitting and quiet firing. Our guest is Dr. Jayne Gardner.
Dr. Gardner, have you been a victim of this yourself, quiet firing, or did you experience quiet quitting?
You know, I have never experienced it myself, but I have watched employee and employer use both tactics, quiet firing, quiet quitting. And one of the things we're disregarding is we're disrespecting the what I call the silent grinders out there, the employees who go the extra mile and work overtime to get the job done.
You know, it may come down to what about the employer worried about being sued? You can sue your way out of anything, whether you don't make a cupcake for a certain marriage, or you can be sued for anything. You think it comes down to a company worrying about being sued?
You know, if you've got a culture that promotes open talking and there's a performance management, in system in place, then you're not going to get that. I always tell the employers on firing, be kind, be quick, and shut the door. Because you have to be really firm. You have to know what you're going to say, and you have to have a script in front of you that is kind, but very, very clear that you're being let go because of blah, blah, blah.
Dr. Jayne Gardner with us. All right, we have about a minute and a half. I wanted to ask you about, our own mindsets often lead us to make these decisions. We see the world through our own eyes. We make our own decisions and such. We have these living cultures and killing cultures inside the head. How do you get a good, positive lookout on life?
It's all about being aware that you manage your own thinking and that how you think creates your world. Be aware that you can manage that inner world sometimes when you can't manage that outer world.
So you can control your own responses to what happens to you.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Always. You can, don't be reactive, because that's only going to either get you fired or get you in trouble. Think about very kind behavior, but think about your own inner culture of your value system, how you want to represent yourself in this world.
I agree with that. I remember I threw a chair at our boss once, and
did you really?
Yeah, he didn't like it at all.
Wow.
So
I actually threw a bottle of Pepsi at my general manager once.
Good for you.
Shattered against the wall, and he got splashed with that great Pepsi taste.
None of this quiet firing for you.
Not a thing.
All right.
No.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Good to
Dr. Gardner leaves singing,